Meanwhile, the United States has said that it is aware of reports that 3 Americans, all of whom were fighting in the war in Ukraine, have in fact gone missing, while 2 of them are believed to be captured and taken as prisoners of war by the Russians. The whereabouts of the 3rd American is at this point of time unknown. And this comes after 3 foreign prisoners were condemned to death last week for helping Ukraine. 2 of them, remember, had been British. Families and members of the Congress on Wednesday said that Alexander Druk and Andrew Hune, who were both U.S. military veterans from Alabama, lost contact with their families last week while fighting with the Ukrainian forces near the Russian border. If this report is confirmed, then this will be the first Americans, the very first Americans who are fighting for Ukraine, who have been captured since the war began in February. While the United States has confirmed that it has not yet raised this issue with Moscow, it has urged Russia to treat any American volunteers, that is, essentially American mercenaries, fighting alongside the Ukrainian troops as prisoners of war in order to guarantee their humane treatment.
Our message to them is that those members of the Ukrainian armed forces should be treated as POWs. Anyone captured on the battlefield should be afforded these same basic and fundamental guarantees.
So the Kremlin has said that it is not aware of any captured American mercenaries at this point of time. Russia considers all foreigners fighting with Ukrainians to be mercenaries. It is said that they are not protected as combatants under the Geneva Convention and therefore will not get the rights that prisoners of war are afforded once they are captured. Now, they can be detained, but only to stop them from participating in this conflict. They must be released without delay after the end of hostilities. The detaining power may prosecute them for possible war crimes, but not for acts of violence that are lawful under international law. These are the rights that are given to the prisoners of war, but these rights will be denied to mercenaries, is what the Russians have said. Meanwhile, the European Court of Human Rights has told Russia to stop the execution of a Moroccan man who was sentenced to death in a pro-Moscow separatist region of Ukraine. Now, Ibrahim Sadon was sentenced to death along with 2 British nationals who were fighting as mercenaries for the Ukrainians. The ECHR is part of the Council of Europe, which ejected Russia from its membership in the month of March following Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. The court still insists, however, that it can issue verdicts concerning Russia, even though Russian Parliament has adopted a legislation to no longer adhere to the ECHR rulings. The United Kingdom has also expressed anger over the death sentences that have been handed out to the 2 British mercenaries, Adrian Aslan and Sean Pinner, who were captured by the Russians in the battlefields in Ukraine. Remember, they had been captured in Mariupol back in the month of April. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.